Morning, Richard Buckley, Milford, MD. In each of these episodes that we film, I try to bring you some new piece of information. So even though some elements of the procedure may be the same as other times when we've filmed, there are usually some things that are different, and or I say some things that are different. Point out different parts of the procedure that are of interest. So today's procedure is lipo-sculpting of the neck. Our patient's awake, yes?
Yes.
People are always awake for everything we do. Everything. Breast tuck, tummy tuck, facelift, eyelid surgery, upper lower blepharoplasty, transconjunctival blepharoplasty, arm lifts, thigh lifts, lipo head to toe, etc. Everybody's awake and comfortable. So our patients agree. Okay. So you can see I've made some little dots here and I've outlined the jowls. One thing we're going to do is pop in through that little spot there. You can see it's a little white if you zoom in on that. That's the epinephrine in the numbing. This is also numbed. I'm going to pop under the skin and suck that fat down. You can see that's raised a little bit. So that's going to be flattening out the jowls. In front of the jowls is often an indentation called the pre-jowl notch. So there's the chin, this notch, the jowls. Maybe I'll put a little fat in this pre-jowl notch. Also, our patient asked me to put a little bit of our fat in her lips. The balance between the upper lip, lower lip, if it's actual phi, that's PHI, that's the golden ratio, that's 1 to 1.6, would be with the lower lip bigger than the top. There are plenty of amazingly beautiful people in the world, like the actress in Amelie, Audrey Tautou, who has a much bigger upper lip than lower lip, and you wouldn't want to change that. But we'll put a little bit of nano fat in our patient's lower lip and work on getting that perfect ratio a little more perfect. Importantly today, our patient has some neck bands. Those are those sort of circumferential things that are horizontal, and bend your neck down. Now you can kind of see here, a little difficult to see because I've started the numbing process of the neck, but I put some little dots where those bands are. I'm going to work on releasing those bands, which are kind of adhesive in nature, so they're adhesions. And also I want to fill them with some fat because they've gotten dented in over time, and then I'll work on bringing them out a bit. We can't make them perfect, maybe ever, but certainly not in one sitting, but I do think we can improve them a whole bunch. I am going to reuse some of the fat that we take from the neck and use that in these bands. That's sort of micro fat. I'm also going to use some gadgetry I have here to further size the fat, smaller, 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 and then super smaller, and turn it into nano fat, which will have a size of 600 microns. There's a sieve in here, which will help knock it down to 600 microns. It's the nano fat that I'm going to put in the lips, and in addition to the micro fat, nano fat in these horizontal bands. Also, in addition to sucking out today, we're going to use the Renuvion plasma device in this entire area to promote skin tightening. Also, our patient has an event coming up in a few weeks, so this all needs to be sorted out and looking great in 22 days, and I trust it will. We do have a laser called a V-beam, V for vascular, victory over vascular things, which is very helpful if we get any bruising. We can zap the bruises with the laser and help it heal up a whole bunch faster. Sometimes they almost disappear overnight after the laser. Richard Buckley, Milford, MD. Remember, this morning's project was lipo-sculpting of the neck, Renuvion skin tightening, liposuctioning of the jowls, fat transfer to the pre-jowl notch, fat transfer to the horizontal neck bands. I'm going to put a little fat in the lower lip here in a second as well. This is post 1619. So, the Renuvion, we put in through this little poke hole here, and these poke holes don't need stitches. They heal up beautifully all by themselves. The Renuvion puts plasma energy under the skin, which starts a tightening process whereby things get tighter and tighter and tighter over a period of probably a year or more. Things look a little purplish right now. It's actually not from bruising, it's from my little purple marks that I made. Sometimes I make red marks before I start, which is nice because they don't look purple. But anyway, we did purple today, and then we're going to use a little swab and get those marks off of there. But that's a nice chiseled neck. You can see the fat that we had in there before. If you look at the earlier video, it's gone. Thank you for watching. Milford.